Hey guys, so you probably can guess the theme of this video. I am warning everybody that is selling print-on-demand products to please be careful with anything related to the passing of Queen Elizabeth, all right? Please also don't take it out on me if I'm not telling anybody to go profit off of her death, okay? This video is just me staying in my lane, print-on-demand seller, YouTuber. I'm talking to the other print-on-demand sellers, so feel free to talk about everything in the comments if you want to and stuff like that, but please just don't aim it at me because I'm not trying to like push anybody to make money off of the fact that Queen Elizabeth passed. That being said, obviously, like, there's gonna be a lot of t-shirts sold and whatnot, and I know that, you know, we're print-on-demand sellers. We've seen similar things in the past with like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, most notably, I think is the quickest comparison that comes to mind. And yeah, like money was made. So in this video, I'm really just going to quickly go through and share my thoughts on what is okay in the eyes of the people who run the marketplaces that we sell on and what's not okay. So please forgive me. That's what I'm going to talk about. Let's get started. Real quick reminder, I'm going to be live tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with Detour Shirts. We're going to do part 3 of our video series where we did niche research and a design tutorial. Now we're going to follow up with a sales update. Also, I have a free print-on-demand giveaway linked in the description. I've got my print-on-demand mini course and a great print-on-demand Facebook group, so check those out. They're all linked in the description. So as we mentioned, Queen Elizabeth, they confirmed that she passed away at age 96. You know, it's all over television and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely I'm staying in my lane, but I, you know, just took a picture of Google here so that we can see that it was confirmed. So what's the policy in terms of merch by Amazon when it comes to should we do it? Should we not? My personal stance, like, I am not even considering uploading something related to Queen Elizabeth passing on my account. All right, that's me personally, if you're wondering what I'm doing. And you may be like, he's saying that, but he's actually probably doing it behind the scenes. No, trust me. It's a lot easier too, by the way, when you're in tier 200,000. Like if you're in tier 10 and you're like, oh, I'm just going to go for it. Well, hey, if you lose your account, what did you put into your tier 10 account? Probably not that much. If you're in tier 200,000, 5 years later, yeah, it's just it's an easy decision, right? Even if I see Queen Elizabeth's shirts on Amazon, which that is something I would say, if you are feeling really pressed, like, oh, I'm going to go for it. But how do I know if it's okay? The first thing I would mention, even before we look at the Amazon merch resources page, which I have on the next slide, I would always recommend actually going to Amazon, looking at what is currently available for sale there in your niche, and looking at the days they were listed for sale. Okay, I have a video called Is This Niche Safe? I link to it in every top 5 niches of the week video. I will link to it in this video. I highly recommend watching that video if you haven't seen it, because it's the best I can do in terms of detecting if something is safe. Now, I'm not getting into the moral side of it. Please don't judge me. I'm not trying to lean one way or the other. You guys can talk about that, and I invite your comments. But like, we're just talking about, like, will I get an algorithmic, not human reviewed, but algorithmic instant rejection if I submit something with this design, or more importantly, this keyword, okay? And we don't even know what the keyword may be. And I'm saying that you will want to watch my Is This Niche Safe video to get the full kind of how I would go about confirming if it's safe or not safe. Also, we have just straight from the Amazon merch content policy, which they have rewritten over the years, and in its current form is quite condensed relative to what it used to look like. And right here, I just screenshotted it and I put an arrow. This is not allowed. It's categorized under offensive or controversial content. It says content related to human tragedies and natural disasters. That would certainly include the passing of the Queen. So right there, it's kind of telling you that this is probably a no-no in their eyes. Next platform that comes to mind that we may be selling on, Etsy. Well, let's check Etsy. And by the way, the same thing I just said about Amazon merch, like before I try to list something for sale, before you go into the rules, it's always good to just kind of remember that the engineers, like, I guess I worked at a tech company and I was a web developer. So this is like, I see it exactly how it was at the companies I worked for. Doesn't mean it's going to be like that at Amazon merch or at Etsy, but it probably is like that at many companies where the engineering team may exist independently and sit on a completely other side of the office or floor of the office building than the people who write the resources section, right? Or the help center on Etsy, okay? So you may read something in the help center and experience something different in reality because whoever's writing these algorithms that police all of these submissions at scale, they're typically two different people, almost guaranteed, right? So you may also not see the resources updated in real time. But for Etsy, or I was going to say, the point of me sharing that was check Etsy also for what you intend to sell and just see if you see other people submitting it. And yeah, like the more recent the listings have been created, the more of an indicator that is as well of what's okay, what's not. So I looked over Etsy's prohibited items policy and their anti-discrimination and hate speech policy. And I didn't see anything related to anything that even implied that this would not be allowed. So I think Etsy's probably okay, or at least like generally speaking, relative to Amazon merch, you're gonna have more luck on Etsy than you would on Amazon merch. That being said, hey, I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying if you have to do it, Etsy may be where you want to look before you look at Amazon merch. That being said, on Etsy, if you get a customer that reports your listing because they don't like the fact that you are making money off the fact that the queen passed away, and I mean, again, that's just how one person is seeing it, right? Other people, I think the majority of people are probably seeing it as like, not even that somebody's selling it. They're just thinking like, hey, I'm on Etsy because I want to purchase something because I feel strongly about this and I want to commemorate it and have something that, you know, I feel like I can pay tribute to the queen, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. That person's thinking through the first person lens, most people by far. But there might be somebody thinking through the lens of, you know, I'm going to police the internet and I don't want anybody, you know what I mean? There might be that person. And on Etsy specifically, those people can get you in a lot of trouble. And you might be thinking, but Ryan, I didn't do anything wrong. It doesn't matter, right? We already know. And if you don't know, welcome to the channel. The subscribe button's right there. If you want to hit that, that'd be great. Yeah, Etsy, it's very well documented that they just don't care, right? You're not going to, like, I've had 7-figure Etsy sellers, implying more than one, worried about losing their account because of like a late shipment went out, or you know what I mean? Like Etsy's algorithm flagged them for any little infringement, or not infringement, infraction, I guess you could say, or this isn't even really an infraction. You just get a report from a customer that didn't like what you were selling, right? And that sometimes that's all it takes to get you removed from the platform. I know it's ridiculous. Take it up with Etsy, by the way. They don't care. Like you're going to try to like call them or email them. They don't care. They've got a generic copy paste response waiting for you. Okay. That's just how it is. That said, does that mean you shouldn't sell on Etsy? Hey, that's for you to decide. Like there's still money to be made on Etsy, but man, you know, every time you publish something, you got to just be thinking like, is this going to offend somebody that's going to report me, that gets my whole account taken down? Because it has happened more than once, guys. All right, so I wanted to quickly just show if you're like, okay, I'm thinking that I'm going to sell something, right? Maybe you list it on eBay. Maybe you list it on Redbubble. You want like really low, I would say very low probabilities of you getting in trouble platforms, or not even in trouble, but you know what I mean? Like algorithmic rejection, low chance probability. Redbubble, eBay, Amazon Seller Central. Okay, those are 3 that like you're probably not going to get any trouble at all. You're like, Ryan, Seller Central, what's the difference between Seller Central and merch? Merch has a very strict approval rejection algorithm. Amazon Seller Central, hardly at all. Okay, so if you do want to end up making a design in this niche, check out Creative Fabrica. Now, typically Creative Fabrica has a ton of graphic assets. I'm guessing that at some point a bunch more assets related to this you know, niche, if you will, or tragedy. I mean, whatever you want to call it, please just, you know, I'm trying my best here to stay in my lane and not rub anybody the wrong way. They don't have that many when it comes to this, what you may need for design assets, okay? They have some quotes, all right? And I will link to that in the description. They have like a bundle of quotes from Queen Elizabeth. And they've got this like SVG cut file, which I don't think is actually intended to be used in print on demand, but you might be able to do something with it, all right? And that's pretty much it. So I will link to these 2 in the description. Even if you don't have a Creative Fabrica subscription, you can still just go grab the assets. It's probably pretty cheap. I don't see the price because I have, you know, the all access that most of you guys probably have by now. But yeah, Creative Fabrica is a great value. Also, really quickly on my way out, just wanted to share something else with you that you know, this is something that I would do in terms of like, if I'm in some niche where I need a graphic and you know, I'm not a big designer, so what can I do? Well, you can go like find an image of somebody, a photo, as long as you have the rights to use it. You could go into RemoveBG. You can strip the background if you want to strip the background. If you don't want to strip the background, you can just skip this step. I'll link to everything in the description, okay? Then you can pull it over into Color Cinch. which was formerly known as Cartoonize. And you can guess what Cartoonize does. It cartoonizes things. So you drag and drop it, it uploads it. Then you can do things like the Cartoonizer, the Sketcher, the painting effect, or the digital art effect. And it's as simple as like you click it, it just applies the filter. So I was messing around. I did the painting. I picked one of the ones under painting. There's a bunch, by the way. So if you go to painting, you'll have like 20 options. And then there's also a little like slider where you can kind of remove the effectiveness because it looked weird the first time. So then I dragged it down a little bit, looked a little bit better. Okay, I'm not in love with the painting one, but I actually like, if you go to the Cartoonizer section, CA007, I think it's like the third one from the top after you check the Cartoonizer section. It actually works pretty well. And again, you can kind of mess with the slider to add or remove the effect. And it's just worth knowing that that exists, guys, because I've been using it for years and it works really well. All right, guys, and that's pretty much it for this video. I'll have links to everything I referenced in the description of this video, including a link to my full print on demand course if you want to check that out, guys. Rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth. And yeah, I will see you guys later at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with Juna from Detour Shirts.